All right, well, let's get going. I'm going to start with that initial gesture. I had heard from some friends of mine that they weren't sure what a gesture drawing was. You know, a gesture, when you're moving around, you're gesturing towards things. So a gesture drawing, it's just that first initial impression. You're trying to get the movement, you're trying to get the flow, you're trying to get the feel of it. I took a class in college of gesture drawing, and they had a model, and you would do these 30-second drawings or 1-minute drawings, and those were gestures, just trying to really nail down something pretty quickly. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going in on this guy. And, you know, that first initial concept, I really wanted this big, massive head on these tiny little legs. Almost, you know, there's that joke in So I Married an Axe Murderer, that like an orange on a toothpick. I kind of wanted that type of feel to him, just this overbearing, really heavy thing to these tiny little legs. I love that big head versus the small legs. So I wanted that. Now that I have the gesture, I can go in and start doing the darker lines, really nailing down the head, trying to keep it pretty organic. I wanted it to feel lumpy. I wanted it to feel, you know, the frogs and toads that have just those folds of skin and the bumps all over them. Then going in, giving him some, you know, it's a outlaw bandit frog, drunk bandit frog. I was doing this for Seth Hippin's Hippopotomatic Sketch Club, which is a lot of fun. You should check out. And, you know, so I liked the idea of this desperado frog with this, you know, Wild West type of outfit, the vest going on and the shirt and the, you know, the bandolier going across his waist with bullets in it, give him a little 6-shooter. Just some fun stuff. I really enjoy a lot of times those weird mashup type of things. You take an animal and then you do something kind of weird with it and fun and crazy. The belt buckle was a lot of fun. I thought I'd do something, so I put a fly on there, and I thought, oh, let's turn it into a lily pad. You know, it's a belt buckle and it's recognizable, and it's just one of those little details that maybe you just see later on. Going in, putting some bullets on there. He was supposed to be a drunk outlaw frog, so I gave him a empty bottle of something. If I'd go back, I'd probably do like a jug with some moonshine or something in it just for fun, but the bottle works. Going in, I like adding all the warts and bumps to the frog, kind of adding some texture to it, just like with the vest here, going in on those stripes, giving it a bit of texture, a bit of flavor to it, something to visually separate it from, you know, like the bottom of the jaw is very stark and just this big shape, and then you break up these much smaller shapes going in there. Going on the 6-shooter, then darkening up the face. Make sure that the mouth is really visible, especially if I have all these details. You want to make sure that the things that you want visible are visible. You know, you don't want everything to get lost just in the chaos. So I'll really darken up things like the mouth and the eyes. Going on this big wide hat, I kind of liked the fact that his head was tall and big and fat, and then this thin brim to the hat. Kind of enjoyed that. Going in there, making sure that the lines pushing the face away from the shirt are really dark and really present. And then adding the sleeves. You know, just wanted and I liked the sharpness of that arm there where the elbow just ends in that point, and then you have the other arm that's very round. You have these round organic shapes versus these hard straight shapes. Going in more with the vest, making sure that that's working really well. Just darkening up these details. I really haven't gotten to the top of that hat yet. I wonder when I'm going to do that. Doing the little wine bottle there. Having some fun with that. Again, adding another little fly to the label on that wine. You know, just figure everything's going to be, you know, if he's eating it, it's got to be fly flavored. You know, that's your frog right there. Going to the top of the hat now. Give it a little bit of a lip or whatever it is. Darken that up. On those pants, I really love these really thin legs. You know, I mean, it's a frog. You know, they got to jump, so these legs would be long, very thin. A lot of this was kind of, you know, Rango had those really hideously beautiful characters. I like to say that, where the characters were they were very textured and weird looking and crazy and just bumpy and stuff, and it was gorgeous, and I really kind of enjoyed that. So maybe not quite to the extent that Rango did it, but I wanted to go in here and give this guy some grit and some texture, something to be hideously beautiful, you know, all these different bumps and warts and things like that, but make it sure it was well designed, as opposed to like a really, you know, cute, colorful Disney frog. This one was supposed to be a bit ugly, a bit deformed, and, you know, stuff like that. On that eye, make sure that those eyes are really popping out there. That's a big part of it. Mouth. Gosh, you know, the eyes and the mouth, that's kind of the essence of this frog here, is that big, massive mouth that you can imagine opening up and, you know, shooting out his tongue and grabbing some flies. Like giving him some spurs, just spurs sitting on his feet. A lot of fun. Adding, throwing some final detail on the wine bottle, make sure that that's popping and working real well. A little bit of shading on the eyes there. Make sure that the shading away from the hat really kind of pops, makes the eyes pop out, you know, the darkest darks versus the lightest lights. And they're like that. Finishing this guy up. Thanks for watching today's drawing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom if there's something specific you want to see drawn, and maybe it'll make it into a future video.